So, we're back. Hi. Died, are you okay today?
Yes.
Oh, you're not gonna make any comment about this anime? How come it's...
Yeah, how come you didn't make me watch garbage? I'm disappointed.
Yeah, so, Classic December didn't quite work out. I guess it bled into January. Don't you love how that works?
Yeah, it's all your fault.
I mean, we got one back last month with Gurren. And hey, we said Back Arrow or Outlaw Star would be next. I also tried waiting. It's like, okay, they're going to put Back Arrow up, right? And then I remembered, oh wait, it's funny, and they take 5,000 years. Oh, yeah, there you go. But yeah, we're doing Outlaw Star, which if you haven't seen it, why? Come on, it's Outlaw Star. It's amazing. It's literally if Han Solo from Star Wars were the protagonist and went on space adventures and shit. It's great. But alright.
Yeah, it would be like that movie. If it wasn't so shit.
I was gonna say, the Solo movie sucks, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Has anything good Star Wars came out? Trick question.
Anyway, I guess we should get into something that is good space-related. Outlaw Star was created by Takehiko Ito. Yes, Ito. From Genshin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're about over a week too late.
Oh, he's dead, isn't he? Anyway, his first manga was back in the 80s called Future Retro Hero Story, which never got an anime, but that didn't stop him from referencing it in Outlaw Star. Yeah, if you're wondering all those times they allude to a red-haired savior from the great years of the past, it's the protag from this manga. Anyway, he also worked on episodes of Escaflowne and Gunbuster as a side person, so that's a thing. And we all know Escaflowne is also trash, right, Dai?
Yeah, isekais are trash.
Yeah, manga would come out from 96 to 99, with no official English translation to this day, which is probably for the best. A lot of official translations are kind of shit now, I guess. But it's alright, because the anime was done by Sunrise, and we all know Sunrise are good, right?
Yes.
Hey, man. They did Code Geass, Inuyasha, Kakaishi, like, they've seen a lot of shit that I've grown up with, so... or done a lot of shit. Guess I do have to thank Sunrise. Anyway, the anime aired in 1998, before being dubbed on Tonami in 2001, with a dub produced by Bandai. Remember when Bandai were cool?
No. Not really.
Yeah, show would also air on Adult Swim, which is where a lot of other people saw it, especially since that version's uncut, and... yeah, Toonami made a lot of censors to it for violence, toning down language, turning down a lot of the protagonist, Gene Starwin's, pervy action, shall we say, and even cutting an entire episode, because it was too sexy for Toonami.
A lot of his U action.
Hey man, Gene is a man of culture. But yeah. Bandai, of course, would close their anime distributing arm years back, and Outlaw Star was in the hands of Funimation with the Blu-ray. And it took them until 2017 to put out a Blu-ray that the United Kingdom had for literal years before that. Fuck's sake, Funimation. Every time we cover you, do you have to screw up with something?
Yes. Yes, they do. If they didn't, you should be worried.
Well, I guess let's get to the story of this. Just a quick breakdown. Our protagonist, Gene Starwin, who's more or less a bounty hunter that goes out into space and accepts odd jobs and stuff. Because he wants to be a space adventurer.
That's not your buy space.
And of course, you all know how this goes. He gets a ragtag crew of misfits, and they go on a ship called the Outlaw Star, hence the title, etc. And yeah, a lot of the show is episodic, but I think it's done in the right way. It's done in the way that isn't infuriating, because there's just enough plot string together to make it not feel like a waste of time.
Aw, that's so sad. Imagine having a plot.
I know, right? But yeah, we'll get to each character when we get to the dub. But first, die! Animation! It was shit, wasn't it?
No, we're not it's not fucking Dean. Or Toei's ugly CGI.
This anime's 24 years old. Come on, man.
What?
You make it sound like... Never mind.
Sound like you've called anything Dean has put out in the past 5 years animation is insulting to animators? Yes.
Well... I mean, hey, the spaceship battles were cool, and the spaceships have arms! It's really weird. And yet somehow kind of cool.
Koi and just be a mecha already. Pick one or the other, you stupid
I mean, it is
fuck.
Sunrise. And I don't think it's a coincidence the Outlaw Star isn't Super Robot Wars.
Well, it's one of the ones that probably deserves to be, unlike others.
But yeah.
Get your fucking ass out of there, Knights and Magic. Go die in the shitty hole you came out of.
Anyway. Yeah, so the animation's fun.
Like you wait, what?
Oh, come on. But Ty, what do you think of Gene's caster pistol? Everyone thinks it's one of the coolest guns in all of anime. What?
Sure?
Oh, come on. Every time he fires it, crazy shit happens. Because the ammo fort's limited or whatever. But we'll get to that in a bit. Next to music, which, I mean, everyone knows the opening, I hope. Especially because it's probably still one of my top 10 favorite anime openings. Which is called Through the Night by Araki Masahiko. And why is his name so weird for me to pronounce? Araki. There we go. And yeah, the OST itself has that whole classic 90s anime feel to it. You know the one. Die, we saw G Gundam. You know how every 90s anime has that same OST feel to it.
Oh, you mean it's one of the animes that actually has OST?
Yeah, okay, the best way to describe...
try to tell you about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and the best way to describe it is the OST is just going for that whole fun feel, and that's the best way to describe it. It gets you pumped up to go see some awesome action. And anime titties. Lots of that in this series, too. So yeah, I don't really have any complaints about the OST.
Episode. What?
I don't know. I mean, the first time Melfina shows up, she's naked. What? Anyway, I guess it's time to get to the dub, which, yeah, dub's, again, from over 20 years ago. There's moments where it's dated, particularly with the side characters and, like, ad voices. But I don't really have any complaints with the voice acting, honestly, for the main cast. Unless you have anything to add.
Yeah, and it doesn't have that rushed feeling that Platinum End has. Wait, what?
Hey, Platinum's End turn is coming. Fucking wait, Platinum End. But yeah, guess let's get to this. The ADR directors were Wendy Lee. You asshole, Wendy Lee. You all should get the running joke by now. And Leah Sargent, who I've never heard of before this video, but there you go.
Now you have.
But yeah. Our main character, Gene Starwind, who we basically said is literally just Han Solo, who, fun fact, his name was taken from Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. Can you tell that this created by, or inspired by Star Trek yet, Die? And Starwind, as a play on the name Skywalker from Star Wars, that one's a little harder to spot, I'd say.
Yeah. The classic Skywalker from Episode 9.
Fuck you! And you mean Episode 8?
Yes, the classic child murderer.
Anyway. Gene is, well, as we mentioned, he loves hitting on women. He loves, well, doing anything for money. He's kind of a dick, and honestly, he's a great pro tag. Yep, he's a fucking awesome pro tag. I don't know, some of his, he kind of reminds me of, I guess, he has the devil may care attitude that Dante does also. So if you like that sort of pro tag, you'll feel right at home with him.
Yeah, but his firm body's not so delicious.
Damn it, we're not talking about the DMC anime. And I don't know, I'm sure Gene has some fangirls that think he is. Anyway, he's voiced by Bob Buchholz, who's back from the Big O. Actually, that is a classic I have not seen yet, and I'm kind of glad there's a lot of these I haven't seen, I'm being honest. Thank God I held off on watching some of this shit till now.
Yeah.
You've seen that, haven't you?
I've seen it. I've seen a handful of it on Tonami, yes. Or Adult Swim.
One of these times we're watching it, because I want to see it. I hear it's great. He's also Pazu from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And he was narrator Coon in High School Girl. Fuck off, Netflix. Put that on Blu-ray already. What? It's the running joke with that.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I think he's great as Gene.
I remember more of it than Inuyasha, because Inuyasha couldn't pick a fucking time slot.
Yeah, that kept moving around. As did Trigun, speaking of space westerns. It kept flip-flopping between Tonami and Adult Swim. And Yu Yu Hakusho. Whatever, we're getting sidetracked.
No, that's the one I did catch all the way.
But yeah. So
I didn't watch it because the trailer was too weird.
Dude, the trailer seems so dumb to me. Now I feel like an idiot. I'm glad I watched it, though, years later. But anyways, back on this, Bob does a great job as Gene. Like, you could tell he had a lot of fun with the role, which wouldn't you, man? Gene is fucking great. Like, come on. He's like, oh man, I gotta take care of some stuff. You guys work on the ship. I got some very important partying. I mean, other stuff to take care of. Yeah. Then he gets shit-faced drunk and ends up becoming broke because he's an idiot. But the other thing, too, is he knows when to be serious, because, I mean, his gunfights are fucking awesome, especially the showdowns he has. Because, I mean, it's not like it's a Western, too, or anything. But after him, we have Jim Hawking, who's the child prodigy genius that's with him. Which, yeah, Jim Hawking, or James Hawking, named after James Kirk from Star Trek. I think this guy really likes Star Trek, I don't know.
Well, then maybe it should cast some of them in it like fucking gargoyles. Wait, what?
Anyway, Jim is voiced by Brienne Siddall, who we just covered on Gurren Lagann as Gimme. Gimme, die!
Give you what?
But she's also Riku from Duel Masters. Anyone remember that series? I didn't think so. And Kido from Damn It Tokyo Pop censoring Zatch Bell. But yeah, listen here, they're actually good in this dub. Unlike the fucking filler arc of Bleach. You know the one.
You underrated it.
Damn, dude. I know we bitch about that arc a lot, but... like, when you go hearing voice actors like her in that arc where it's like, yeah, this is not a good first showing to this, it's like, that's a perfect example of directing gone awry. Because, yeah, I think I mentioned this before, guys. There's situations where no matter how good of a director you are, you're not getting an A game from a voice actor if they're not in it or not feeling it. But then there's other situations where it's on the director for fucking up. I think that filler arc that time was on the director. But yeah, Jim being the child prodigy, he's the tech person of the group. Kind of like Tails and Sonic, I guess, the closest thing I could compare it to. Except Jim is more of a smartass. And he's also the one to keep Gene on the straight and narrow when Gene's getting way too out of hand. Because it's Gene.
I mean, Tails is occasionally, except when they're not written like Sonic Forces, because that's another disaster. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Being a Sonic fan is painful.
You know what's weird, speaking of Jim? You'd think, oh, you know, when the child character gets his own episode focused around him, it's gonna be cringy. But no, he probably has one of, if not the best episode in the series. We'll get to that in the spoiler section, but people who've seen the show know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, this cast list is all fucking out of order, so this is gonna be fun. After him, we have Twilight Suzuka. Yes, Dai, I know. That makes no sense.
What?
Hirsch being on the third of the cast list. But whatever.
It makes sense.
So,
don't think about it.
Yeah, Twilight Suzuka is an assassin that kills all of her targets at sunset, hence the name Twilight.
It's subtle.
She's also a samurai or something, and probably has one of the coolest themes in the show. And, yeah, she ends up aligning with the Outlaw Star on occasion for personal reasons. Anyway, she's voiced by Wendy Lee. See, comes back full circle. You all know Wendy Lee, Bulma from the Dragon Ball Harmony Gold dub and the Super LA dub. What?
Oh,
Also,
so they just sound better in general.
She's also Haruhi from Haruhi Suzumiya, speaking of a classic we gotta watch at some point. And, yeah, guys, it's fucking Wendy Lee. What do you want me to say? There's a reason people are like, oh yeah, legend in the industry. Even though she casted herself.
Alpha 6 is in the room.
Oh yeah, she's Alpha 6 in Power Rangers. Oh god, the new Power Rangers thing is coming out soon. I have no hope for that. The new movie.
Disaster.
Anyway. So, after Suzuka, we have Aisha, who is half tiger, half alien thing. Or from the Kitaro Empire, which she will not let you forget that. I say it enough times.
Really?
That's
what she was saying? Makes sense.
Speaking of Star Trek, they're totally not fucking Klingons. What are you talking about? They are not a war-hungry race that likes fighting. And or is quick-tempered or whatever.
Oh, definitely not.
Also, Aisha is totally best girl, fight me.
See, he likes to be wrong again.
Back to being in the Twilight or something. Fucking Twilight. Anyway.
Sparkle.
Aisha is voiced by someone with a really weird name, damn it. Lenore Zahn? I was gonna say Lenore at first, because there is an E at the end, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, a couple of her anime roles are Chaldea from Magic Knight Ray Earth, speaking of isekais, but most people would probably know her as Rogue from the 90s X-Men cartoon. Fuck you, Disney, for trying to bring that back. Leave it alone. Or also Ariel from Totally Spies, if anyone grew up with that. I didn't, but I don't know. Some of you might have. And she definitely made some noises as Aisha.
Yes. They're definitely Asian noises.
She also had to growl, like a cat, and or a tiger, whatever you want to call it.
And make more Asian noises.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hazard a guess this voice that she does for Aisha probably royally fucked up her throat after a while, because damn, the growling she had to do in all of her dialogue. Especially with how high-pitched she had to go when she was, you know, screaming or whatever, too. But yeah, Aisha also ends up joining them for other reasons. She's kind of the comic relief character, but because it's a good written show, you also can take her seriously when the plot needs it.
Occasionally. Like 2% of the time.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, after her, we have Melvina, who's an android. And the alligator of the ship. I mean, the navigator. Yeah. And she wants to understand what human means.
Human?
Oh, lots of toaster waifus or toaster fans out there, I'm sure. Especially because, again, the first time you see her, she's naked, waifu. Come on. Anyway, she's voiced by Emily Brown, who's Annie from Robotech. Why does Funny get the rights to that? Alice from Serial Experiments Lane, and the most important role, Fountain Girl from the Nomi Swan Princess. Minus the Nomi part. But yeah, honestly, she does a really good job too. Because you could tell, like, in the scenes where she's distraught at not understanding emotion. Again, there's a lot of scenes where she has to carry it and everything.
Swanzo?
Yeah, there's a character named Swanzo, which we kept laughing every time he showed up. What the fuck kind of alien was he? With the way his voice was, I thought he was a dwarf.
He was a green alien, and he was wearing a suit of armor outside of one scene, so that's why he had that filter.
Yeah, again, with the voice, though, he was talking like this, so I thought he was kind of a dwarf.
I mean, he's a mechanic on ships, so I guess where that makes sense.
Well, the last member of the crew is Gilliam, Computer Coon. And man, this computer is a smartass. And I love the computer, man. Computer, he's my buddy. Anyway, he's voiced by Peter Spellos, Bartley from Code Geass, and Skybite from Transformers Robots in Disguise. Actually, a lot of these people were in the OG Transformers.
Unicorn?
It's Unicron, dog. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, we also covered him briefly on Bleach. He's one of Kokaku's servants, but that's all he voiced in that show. Because fuck getting someone else to voice 50,000 people, I guess. But yeah. Again, everyone on the main Krikado just had a lot of fun with this show.
Fun.
Exactly. Now I guess on to the major characters. First, we have Hilda, voiced by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. She's a space pirate. I mean, hey, it's the Major from Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. And Zabi Maru, Monkey from Bleach. That's her most notable role. Definitely.
Why does she only have one role? There are two roles.
I don't know. In this, she also voiced a bunch of one-off characters, because even though it's been 20 years, LA's still the same.
It was only like 2. It's nowhere it's nowhere as bad as it is.
Oh no,
today,
it's not.
honestly.
It's not. I'm just saying. I just think it's funny. It's like, wow, even 20 years ago, guys still had that bit of an issue. Yet somehow it's gotten worse. But yeah. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is someone you get in when you want a woman to voice a female character that you need to take seriously. Like, oh yeah, this chick's gonna be a badass in the room. And I think it works really well with Hilda and how she is. I mean, her pirate name is Hot Eyes Hilda because she has a reputation for basically almost killing anyone that fucks with her, so... Now moving on to another more silly character. Hey, Di, you ready for Fred Lowe?
Fred, fuck.
Okay, so Fred is... There's no getting around it. He's a gay man. He is in love with Jean. And...
Bye.
Yeah. And he's a great character, though. He's basically, he gives them funding and stuff. Like, he's like, fine, you can borrow money from me, I guess, but only because I love you so much, Jean. I know you were getting Gurren Lagann flashbacks, weren't you? Well, Fred is voiced by Ezra Weiss, who you'd all probably know as Wing from Hunter x Hunter, Nagu from BlazBlue, or Schneider from Ravemaster, the greatest dub of all. Please don't make me watch that, anyone out there. Please.
Please make him watch it. He loved it.
What the fuck? No, I saw the first 2 episodes and I never went back. I was like, I want to see Mashima's first work.
Yeah, that was a terrible mistake.
But yeah, Ezra does a great job as Fred. Because he's not, you know, yeah, he might be gay or whatever, but it's not his entire character. It's one trait of his. Also, that guard of his, that guard was Michael McConaughey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, Gene, do you know the only reason I don't throw you out of here? Is it because if you do, I'll kick your ass? No, it's because the master loves you. It's like, how the fuck do you respond to that?
Why is that one of the only people he voiced?
I don't know. But yeah, because Fred, again, because he's the one that funds the Outlaw Star's escapades or whatever, he's very rich. So, of course, he has personal guards and stuff.
Actually, we could say that about quite a few people, honestly.
But yeah. After him, we have the Mcdougall Brothers. Who apparently I found out were filler, not in the original manga. And, I mean, these are 2 filler characters that I think worked out great anyways. I really couldn't tell that they were. Because I don't know, some of their escapades seemed very integral to the main plot at large.
That's how you do a filler character. Take
yeah,
notes.
They're basically
Especially
hitmen.
you, Dragon Ball.
They're hitmen that are charged with retrieving the Outlaw Star and Malvina for reasons. Because, I didn't even mention this. The Outlaw Star and Malvina are very integral to reach something called the Galactic Ley Line, which it said when you reach there, all of your questions will be answered about the universe. Or it could be treasure or some shit.
Oh, so it's just like Eden Zero. Wait, what?
I think that might be why I like Eden Zero so much, because it reminded me a lot of this show. Which I would not be surprised if Mashima took inspiration from Outlaw Star, because you can see a lot of it in Eden Zero. But yeah. So first we have Rob Mcdougall, the older of the 2, voiced by John Snyder, who you all probably know as Netro from Hunter x Hunter.
If only he was Jay Snyder.
I hate you. He's also Oishi in the old Higurashi dub. And I can tell you this, from Rob to those 2 roles that I named off, it sounds like he aged like 15 years. Holy shit, he sounds a lot older in those 2 roles. Either that or became a chain smoker since then. Because I could not tell this was him at all when I heard him as Rob.
Wouldn't be the first time.
But he does a good job coming across as intimidating. Like, you always hear like you do not want to fuck with the Mcdougall brothers, and you get that vibe from him.
Or at least him.
Yeah, that's what I mean, from him. He's the one to take seriously. His younger brother, well, you all know how it works. Whenever they're siblings, one's the idiot jobber, or at least the one you don't take, the one that's a little bit of a joke. And the other's a serious one. Look at the Toguro brothers. Who's the one everyone remembers?
Well, actually, that's a perfect example. One is more calm and collected and intimidating. The other is crazy and unhinged.
Yeah, which brings us to Harry Mcdougall, who's the crazy, unhinged one. Voiced by Steve Staley.
Except, unlike with the Toguro brothers, he's not the older one.
Yeah, he's the younger one. Steve Staley, what?
And you're not gonna forget his existence.
Yeah, but come on, man, it's Neji! Or Hitsugaya! Fangirl bait personified. It's also the main Abusa Renkin, which I'm showing you that show at one point because Spike Spencer plays one of the most amazing characters in that dub. You've got to see it to believe it. But anyways.
But is it weirder than the Iraq name?
It's on par with that. It is a character you will love, trust me. But back on this though, yeah, this one is Steve's earlier roles, and he does a really good job as Harry. Like, again, he's trying to play crazy and unhinged. So if you ever wanted that from him, here you go. Now, after the Mcdougall Brothers, we have Hisanko, the leader of, I guess, what the fuck are they, actually? They're supposed to be Chinese, right? The K-Pirates? Yeah, the K-Pirates. But I mean what they're inspired by. Because I know a lot of this was taken from Chinese mythology and stuff.
All of them are Chinese.
Yeah. So, Hisanko is their leader, voiced by Tom Weiner. Which I don't think it matters, because he had a really thick filter on, because he was, wearing a mask?
Yeah.
But he's known for Jackal and the narrator in the Fist of the North Star dub from the 80s, which for some reason that has not gotten a complete dub yet. What the fuck?
Yeah, instead they just got the dub cast back for the game.
But he's also Jonathan Wolf in Robotech. A lot of Robotech people in here. Hey, Jonathan Wolf's way cooler than Dick Wolf.
I don't know, tell that to the amount of money that might
Yeah, you could literally buy my opinion to say, bitch, I'll give you this much money if you stop making fun of my name. But yeah, Hisanko, again, he's typical badass samurai type or whatever. And the K-Pirates are a group that you don't want to screw with either. Which the show does do a really good job with the whole world building of the factions. It never feels like there's too much going on where you don't know what's going on at one time.
Except for those poor people who watch the ending.
Well, just a couple characters left on the main cast list. Next is Glenn Khan, which after all the Star Trek shit, I am 99% certain it is named after Khan from Star Trek. And this man is also insane. But, like, the way he talks, even Gene's like, I have no idea what the hell he just said.
Yeah, that about sums it up. You cannot even understand what he's saying, but it's like, that still doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it makes sense. Sense, it makes. Yes, yes, sense is made here, yes. That is an example of how he talks. I'm not joking. It's kind of amazing. But yeah, he's a professor wanting to study the galactic ley lines, so he's kind of a hooker and jumps around a lot, because whoever gets him close to the ley line, he'll side with.
In the vacuum space, no one can hear your sanity.
Well, he's voiced by Milton Jamin James, who's...
That's definitely a name.
Oh, his alias is Milton James, but his real name is Milton Jamin. Jamin. Or Jamin.
You just combine them.
Yeah.
They usually do that sometimes for other aliases, though.
Well, some of his more notable roles are the Archmage in Warcraft 3, which I love how it credits him for being in Refunded Edition when he was dead at that point.
Oh, the classic using audio and ignoring the redub entirely.
He's also Moneybags in the OG Spyro 2. Yeah, because the Reignited Trilogy got a redub, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But as far as another anime role, he's Norman Burke in the Big O. A lot of Big O people here. I'd even list off all the other ones being in Big O, but a lot of them were, so... And,
you definitely need to put it as a tag.
He does a good job voicing the crazy doctor, dude. I think it's great.
speaking of other mechas...
What? Oh,
keep
Big O.
saying mecha.
Yeah. Now, the last one to bring up is... I'm only bringing him up because he's the narrator, but I don't know, dude. I've never heard of this dude. Fucking Bo Billingsley. You guys ever hear of him?
Yeah. You know, sounds like an ass.
No, we all know who he is. Come on, it's the running joke around here. And he's Old Man Ron from ReZero.
Sometimes.
But he's also Jet from Cowboy Bebop, I guess. Ah, fuck you, Netflix. I think the funniest joke, though, is that it got canceled right away.
Canceled.
Anyway. As far as the ad voice recycling, yeah, there's a few Wendy Lees here, which that's probably the dumbest one since she is a main character. But
I mean, it's before that one actually shows up.
No, because remember there was one Wendy Lee ad voice that reacts to something Suzuka does in the background, and you and I commented like, that's just stupid. Yeah. Like, that one was a bit dumb. Also, Dave Mallow, for some reason, kept voicing loudspeaker people and commentators for events. That was kind of silly. Oh, I didn't even mention Ezra Weiss was young Gene. Gene's only 20 years old canonically. Did you really need to give him a different voice when he was like 14 or 15? I guess that makes a little more sense than fucking Domon from G Gundam. That one was just stupid.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
But yeah. I mean, and I'll mention it too, since we already mentioned, you know, Milton James is dead man on the cast list. There's also Michael Lindsay and Bob Pappenbrook. Rest in peace, guys. But yeah, this stuff has a lot of deceased people on the list. But, I don't know. I don't really have many complaints about the dub, honestly. I mean, it gives you such great lines like, "You cactus bastard," which is a line I never thought I'd hear said in anything.
What other anime has an alien cactus that's using, ESP waves or something to mind control people?
Yeah, this show, again, as we said, is just focused on being fun and over the top as hell, and it works really well.
And then you stepped on the cactus until he died. Wait.
Now, before spoilers, we should get into what sequel plans were made for this show, but if you're gonna ask if you should watch this, yes. Seriously, if you haven't seen this show yet, there's a reason it's a classic.
If these sequel plans didn't get cancelled, should you have watched them? No.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. I'll describe what the sequels were going to be, because they don't sound that appealing to me personally. But yeah, the show's entirely up on Hulu. That's where you watched it at. I watched it on Blu-ray because I'm a bitch, and who owns the Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Come on, man! The limited edition is shaped like the ship. How can you not think that's amazing and want to own that?
Yeah, you have fun getting those discs out.
Anyway, but yeah.
I already got burned enough with the stupid Batman one.
That is honestly the worst Blu-ray case I think I own, actually. That one's pretty bad. But okay, so the first sequel was planned, just immediately after this was done by the studio, and it was called Outlaw Star 2, Sword of the Wind, where Gene would find a new ship called Sword of the Wind. What happened to the Outlaw Star? Don't know. I'm serious. I don't fucking know. It's never mentioned as to why he has a new ship now. He's also on his own, because this takes place 3 years later, where the crew split up for no reason. Apparently Melvina went to college because she wanted to learn how to human. Jim decided to leave the crew because he wanted to date some chick he found. Why? And Suzuka and Aisha aren't even mentioned.
This definitely sounds like a show that was come up with by a board. Sounds like the sword-based arc.
Yeah. Again, if you all have seen the show, you'd understand what drives the show is the characters and their interactions. Erasing the majority of the main cast is kind of a bad move.
No, it's a really good idea. You just don't understand how good it is.
I don't know, man. Anyway, a lot of the ideas they had for this series, like some of the planets and some of the side characters, would actually end up being reused in the spin-off that doesn't have any of these guys in it, called Angel Links, which we'll be covering soon, I guess. While this is still fresh in our minds, probably best to do that. Which, because none of it's focusing on an entirely new cast of characters, I think that works better, because there's no expectations. It's not like it's slapping you in the dick saying, hey, those characters are gone.
If you're gonna do a spin-off, do a whole new cast is for the best.
Yeah.
Or a character that's minor recurring as fuck, that's really popular.
I mean, hey, from what I looked up, the Lizard Man voiced by Richard Epcar shows up in this.
Why does he only voice one person?
I don't know, but Angel Links is dubbed out of Ocean, so that's gonna be very interesting. There were other sequels planned too, like Outlaw Star, Retaliation. Nothing is known about this one from what I could look up, but that one was canceled too. So, who the hell knows? But yeah. I don't know, man. Outlaw Star was just a fun show. I'm glad we rewatched this. Well, I guess first time for you, rewatch for me. I haven't seen it in fucking years. And yes, it still holds up if you couldn't tell. I think you could watch it now first time. I mean, do you have any complaints about it watching it now?
I'm sure people who got confused by the ending do.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, spoilers, I guess. If you haven't seen a 24-year-old anime, or 20 years old on Tonami, back out now. Anyway, so, yeah, the ending.
Very easy to follow if you're us. Everyone else is probably.
I know, dude. I think that's why I was dubbed to the Blaze Blue shit. Like, the Blaze Blue shit wasn't as bad for me, because it's like Gurren Lagann and Outlaw Star, and then it's like, oh, Blaze Blue. Because, yeah, Outlaw Star, Malfina and Jean become Data and have to fight Hisanko as Data. In cyberspace, they beat the shit out of each other. It's so dumb. It's kind of great, actually.
Back Arrow?
No, that's next. But yeah. And yeah, I mentioned the gym episode. The reason why it's a lot of people's favorite, mine too, actually, is because, I mean, come on. Yeah, what are they called? The Onten 7?
Yeah.
The assassins that work for Hisanko? Yeah, well, one of them ends up running into the Outlaw Star in space. Both their ships get damaged, so they have to dock at the same spaceport. And the Onten 7 pirate, voiced by Rebecca Forstadt, she probably mentioned she voiced two people too, I guess. Actually, does she even voice anymore?
Wasn't she in the Code Geass movie?
Yeah, but that was like 3 years ago. I don't think she's been in shit since. Anyway, though.
It's one of those types of episodes you've probably seen 100 times before.
I think it's done really well, though. Jim ends up finding her, doesn't know she's a pirate. She doesn't know he's part of Jean's crew. They end up hitting it off and getting really close. But then, when they both go to leave the planet, they end up fighting each other, which they don't know each other's on, like, he doesn't know she's on the pirate ship, and she doesn't know Jim's on the Outlaw Star. So Jim ends up helping kill her, and they're like, well, our ship's damaged, guess we gotta go back to the spaceport, and Jim's all excited, he's like, yeah, I get to see my girlfriend again! And then he goes to where the spot they usually meet up at, and she's not there for obvious reasons. She's dead. I don't know. I honestly think that was just a really powerful moment, especially with the rain and music and everything. I think it worked really well.
You know, a lot of shows that copy that usually miss the point.
But yeah.
Or
I mean, other episodes. The Gladiator tournament was great. You know, the tournament episode?
Yeah.
Where Gene had to cross-dress.
Yep. Or others also use it as a comic relief episode, too. I've seen that before.
Yeah, I have too. But this was one instance where the gym episode was done completely seriously, and it worked really well. I mean, hey, the comic relief band episode is fucking great. And I'm not just talking about because of all the anime titties. I mean, that's part of it, but also because the comedy in the episode is amazing. That poor assassin of the On-10 7, man. What an idiot. He had the worst luck.
You can't stop comic relief traps from thwarting you.
Yeah, I remember he's like, alright, I've got you, Gene. And then, because it's on a hot spring planet, hey, everyone on the train, we're flooding the cars with hot spring water to give you a taste of what to expect. And the assassin's like, wait, what?
And then he gets killed off screen.
Well, doesn't he, like, on the end when he's trying to run to get on the train closes the door in his face and he slams into it? Yeah, it's a fucking great episode. Again, we know why Tonami banned it. It's fucking obvious. The fan service
They would have to censor way too much.
Yeah, and the plot of the episode, because Gene went there to get caster bullets for his gun, or caster shells, and the guy's like, I'll make them for you if you get nude photos for me of this waifu. How would Tonami write around that?
How do you lace a VHS?
That was fucking great. You all are still watching, huh? Well then, and then the VHS just explodes. You gotta love the old dude. The old dude was Steve Kramer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you know, it was still worth it. Fucking stupid.
Surprisingly, the only time we heard him in it.
Yeah, the ad voices, honestly,
and the other one was Kirk.
Yeah, the other one was Kirk, which he voiced a couple of people too.
He was Cracker Jack.
Yeah, the professional thief.
That's right. To steal something, you fake a terrorist attack.
Yeah, Cracker Jack was fucking great. I don't know, man. Outlaw Star is just fun from start to finish. And none of the episodes feel pointless either. All of them feel great. It's one of those, I guess, like, you know, I just feel like having fun today and watching something that I don't have to think too hard about or whatever, and there you go.
Until you get to the ending, then you'll be confused if you're not used to stuff.
Yeah. And the show's theme of the whole... Well, the obvious theme is dream big and chase your dreams no matter what they are. I think it comes across really well. But yeah, guess that's it, unless you have anything else to add about Outlaw Star before we get out of here.
Did you know that life is like a boat?
What? No, Through the Night, man. Through the Night is the OP. That OP is fucking awesome. I'm gonna go check if it's on Spotify after this, actually. But yeah. What else all y'all thought about Outlaw Star? And why Aisha is best girl? Right, Di?
What is story?
Fuck Twilight Suzuka. Yeah. Till next time, coming up, we'll be back, Arrow, which literally put out the final episode right after we finished Outlaw Star. And life just typical.
Hence the becoming data comment. Oh my god.
But yeah, till next time, guys.
And it did it. It one-upped itself yet again. Holy shit.
But seriously, go watch Outlaw Star. It's fucking great. Seriously. It's probably my favorite out of the Space Western trilogy. You know, this, Trigun, and Bebop. If I was going to say something, yes, I like Bebop and Trigun just fine. It's just Outlaw Star is still probably my favorite one. But alright, guys. Till next time, thanks again for watching. We'll be back.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Hey, Next Generation I grew up with, and that show's fucking great. Fuck the cunt.
Gargoyles, you piece of shit.
I grew up with that show too. That show's great. Come on. And fuck you, Disney, for never giving that a full, completed DVD release or something. Damn it, Disney has to screw up at everything.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Until next time, hope you have yourselves a great day. Let us know what you thought. Thanks again for watching. Like, comment if you want, I guess. Please. It helps. Until next time, guys.